Hi, this is Josh and welcome to the third African Safari video series. On this topic today we're going to be talking about two different categories of things, or two important topics, and that is electricity and power, and the second one will be currency. And these two categories are very important when considering a trip or planning for an African safari, because obviously they do make a big impact on the decisions we make, especially spending and usage of some of the things we have or take with us. So I'll start off with electricity, and to just help most of you guys who are going to be traveling out there and maybe don't have an understanding of like the different types of volts that are used in comparison to different countries that you're coming from. A good website that I usually go to try and determine what types of voltage that are used in every single country, or in this case if we're planning on an African safari for any other countries in Africa, I go to a website called kropler.com. That is www.kropla.com. Now on this site we'll see a section here called World Electric Guide. Now these guys are pretty good at giving phone directories for international numbers, and also global electric voltage for all the countries around the world. Now anyway, like I was mentioning, on the World Electric Guide here, we'll click on Plug Guide, and as soon as we open that, now you can see here it gives us basically all the voltage for every single country. So for example, if you're in the United States, you'll be able to know that, you know, this is the type of voltage you're going to need to use if you're going to, let's say, for example, let's say South Africa, which would be right there, 220 and 230 volts. So the benefit of this is that it helps us understand, so that way before or prior our trip we can be able to go in and buy a converter or power adapter. That way we can easily, you know, interchange those voltages depending on the country we use. So things like hair dryer or some other tools or electric tools that, you know, we're going to be using will require us to change this. Otherwise, then if you're okay with electrocuting yourself to death, that would be a perfect choice for you. But I would advise highly against that. So if I were you, I would definitely go ahead and try and go through this website and determine some of the voltages that you're required to use in order to buy the proper adapter. Now for the second topic, which will be currency, a good website that I use is xe.com. Now this gives us basically current universal currency converters, and also basically day-to-day trade exchange rates. Now as you can see up here, they give us some of the top currencies in some of the around the world actually, and their exchange rates. But if you want to be able to determine what the currency rate is or exchange rate is on the country that you're planning to travel to, you come here. For example, let's say you want to change US dollar to perhaps the Kenyan, Tanzanian shillings. You just basically scroll down, find the country that you're interested in. Let's see here, Kenya, there we go, and then basically convert that, and then it will tell you today's current exchange rate, and that is basically $1 is 83.5 Kenyan shillings. So this is a pretty good site in order to help you understand what is going on and when you're trying to convert your currency. Now, one of the things that I would advise highly is that when you get to the country and you need to exchange your money, please avoid going to places like the airport or the hotel. They usually have a really low exchange rate. So I would advise you to go to private bureau changes or exchange points, or try visiting Western Union points. They usually offer higher rates and are usually better service-wise compared to many of the other places. And I've noticed airports and hotels usually charge a lot less. So at the end of the day, you're not making the most out of your currency. So I would highly advise you to do that. Other than that, I hope the video was helpful, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.